there's a wave of environmental protests that are sort of sweeping the nation, and you're seeing a lot of direct conflict, a direct vandalism from people who want their governments to swear off oil. So this is from the organization Just Stop Oil. They posted today, I've got a fuel non-proliferation treaty, baby, and I'll write your name. Just Stop Oil paints private jet hours after Taylor Swift lands. 2 Just Stop Oil supporters have painted multiple private jets on an airfield where Taylor Swift's jet landed a mere hours before. They are demanding that the incoming UK government commit to working with other governments to agree on an equitable plan to end the extraction and burning of oil and gas and coal by 2030. So you'll see some images here. You have these young activists who spray painted these jets. One of them, Cole McDonald, who's 22, said, "We're living in 2 worlds, one where billionaires live in luxury, able to fly in private jets away from the other, where unlivable conditions are being imposed on countless millions. Meanwhile, this system that is allowing extreme wealth to be accrued by a few to the detriment of everyone else is destroying the conditions necessary to support human life and a rapidly accelerating, never-ending, quote, cruel summer. Billionaires are not untouchable. Climate breakdown will affect every single one of us." So that's obviously an allusion to Taylor Swift. This comes the day after other activists from Just Stop Oil sprayed orange dust all over Stonehenge, the 5,000-year-old monument, right on the eve of the summer solstice celebration there. The Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, condemned the incident, this from BBC, as a, quote, disgraceful act of vandalism. A leader of the Labour Party, Sir Keir Hamster, I'm not even pronouncing that correctly at all. I'm just keep going. So the damage was outrageous and described Just Stop Oil as pathetic. Members of the public were heard shouting no and seen running to intervene as campaigners ran up the stone circle at the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So environmental activism has a history of being very public. I know in the U.S. we can talk about Weather Underground and their actions, especially in the 70s and 80s. It seems like European environmental activists in particular are similar to American progressive activists in that they want their demonstrations to be bold and in front of your face. You'll see this often in the U.S. with people will go, throw stuff at paintings in the National Portrait Gallery. Is this part of this younger generation? Why are we seeing this happen? Or is this something that every generation does and we just feel like it's different?
Well, these people are stupid. If they got what they wanted, what they're afraid of would happen immediately, right? If you stop using fossil fuels, then you stop being able to fertilize the crops that are providing food aid to places that don't have the ability to grow crops. You stop the production of all of the ability to transport food around the world. These people are so incredibly stupid, they can't even understand that if they got what they wanted, millions and millions and millions, billions of people would die. Literally billions. If you did the whole Just Stop Oil. This is absolutely ridiculous. And these people are, I know that you can't explain anything to them, that they have been totally co-opted by ideologues. I know that there's a whole ton of the environmental, not lobby, but the environmental movement and stuff is really about getting rid of capitalism. They say that capitalism is what causes all the environmental problems, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's totally the opposite of history. Like, you can look at what happens when you open markets. You can look at what happened in China. Even though China isn't a capitalist society, they were having a massive problem feeding their population until they opened the markets, and once they opened markets and allowed people to have some amount of control over their property and control over their time, not a lot, but some, you had this massive explosion of economic activity, and you had a whole bunch of people that could feed themselves. And when you allow markets to thrive, you have fewer poor people. You have fewer people die of starvation. There is no such thing as a poor country that uses a lot of energy. And energy is what keeps human beings alive. If you have a low output of energy from your country, that means you are going to have only so many human beings that can survive in that country. There is no such thing as a low energy rich country. It doesn't exist.